Well, Dirk Badenhorst, the director of Mzansi Ballet and CEO of South African International Ballet Competition, has dedicated his life to reimagining the world of classical dance. And under his leadership, ballet in South Africa has embraced innovation, inclusivity and inspiration at large. And so in this latest production, the Abba Show, a Cinderella Story, Mzansi Ballet brings together two cultural icons, the timeless fairy tale of Cinderella and the unforgettable music of Abba, in a bold, accessible performance aimed at audiences of all ages. So for more, we are going to be sitting down with Dirk Badenhorst this morning to chat about the creative vision behind this ensemble. Dirk, good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
I mean, we're addressing the elephant in the room. How did you merge your ABBA music with Cinderella fairy tale? What was the inspiration? Tell us about what went into that.
So I obviously grew up with the ABBA music. I love ABBA music and I've always wanted to create a ballet, and I have spoken to my choreographers about it so often, about how do we actually get it right. And then finally I convinced them, and then it was the question as to which story could we add to make it work. And we tried Giselle, we tried Romeo and Juliet, and I just said, I don't want to have a sad story, I want to have a happy story, I want to have a feel-good story. And then of course, as you have said in your introduction, the Cinderella story is just such an iconic story. It's such a story that fits anywhere in the world because it happens to everybody and anybody, whether you're in South Africa, China, Korea, Cuba, there is always the story of Cinderella. And so it's such a timeless story. And so the bringing together and then having David Hutt come and do the costuming for us, and Angela Reevy doing the choreography, that really is what made the story that it is today. And it really has been so successful. We've performed it in Cape Town, many times in Joburg. We've taken it to other places, and it's just been so well received. Bloemfontein was one of the other places I try to remember. Yeah.
Let's get into the collaborations that also were, involved in this, because you mentioned you had international stars, you had fashion icons, also part of this. Tell us what that did to also bring this to life.
So ballet is always ballet, and it is truly timeless, and ballet speaks to so many people on so many levels. And even though some people say, oh, you know what, I'm not really into ballet, then they come for the music, for ABBA, and go, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. So in this production, we have dancers from Mexico, we have dancers from Cuba, we have dancers from the UK. So they bring something so beautiful, and they just bring something so different, not in any way forgetting that the prima ballerina of South Africa, Angela Reevy, is performing in this production. She is the Cinderella. And so that is very, very important to always know that even though we are bringing other people to enhance the production, we have so much wonderful talent in South Africa. We have young dancers, Senolo Choma and Kiana Prinsloo, dancing the roles of the two ugly sisters. They are delicious. They aren't just funny, because the one, of course, is a little bit dumb and the other one is a little bit nasty. And so they bring something really, really special. And then we have one of my very good friends, Andrew Gilder, who's a lawyer, as the fairy godmother. And the fairy godmother role is really such a nice role. We've had Brendan van Rijn as Cathay Specific in it. Now we have this lawyer in it. And it really just brings the whole thing together, brings a different level of experience. So it's a pantomime, it's a ballet, it's a musical, it's a fun thing, it's a family night out. It's really, really important that people understand that the whole family can literally come enjoy this. And there's also a little bit of audience participation. And that works so well. We have found so many young dancers that have joined our school because of that. They come on stage, they perform with us, and I'm standing around and I'm seeing and spotting talent. And then we address the parents, who then speak to the teachers, and then some of them come to us. And so in Durban, when we are performing at the Milkwood Theatre the 16th to the 18th of May, there are so many great schools in Durban. And so it's great to be able to find talent. So oftentimes the kids already belong to a studio. But sometimes there are kids that walk on stage that have never done ballet or even known what ballet is, because dad or mom came to the show because of ABBA. And then you say, but your child has real talent. Let's help you find a teacher. And I think that is what's so important about these things, because so many young people in the world was inspired by a performance. Either the actors, singers, dancers came to the school or had done something like this, and by chance they are spotted. And this is really what I love about my job, is that I am able to see and find talent. So with the competition, even dancers around the world have gotten there because of the South African International Ballet Competition. Dancers in South Africa because of Mzansi Ballet.
I'm even thinking about the notion of giving back. I mean, so beyond Durban, I mean, you also give back to areas such as Alexandra and Soweto as well, where you've also managed to hone some talent. Tell us a little bit more about what was unearthed on that front.
So for me, I run a program called Training Teachers in the Townships, and I really urge young people that have no jobs but have an interest in ballet and dance to contact us. Come and train with us. We follow the Cuban ballet methodology. Okay. We cannot get to all the places in South Africa, but we can train teachers there, and they can then teach. Because if you think of the multiplier effect, if you train one teacher and they each start training 20 to 100 kids, then suddenly the pie gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so we are also working at a school called Reshomile in Diepsloot. And so we go there, we send our teachers, we train, we are looking at starting programs in Ennerdale. And if there's any of our viewers this morning that would like to help, one of our biggest expenses always is transport. Getting the kids to us or getting our teachers to the kids. And in the beginning, that's what we need so desperately, because we need to get that critical mass of trainers so that we can then start placing them. Yeah. And so that is something that we really desperately need, is to get people to just help. It's not R1,000,000, it's R1,000 a month that could make such a big difference for us. So that is really what we are doing. Some of our young kids are traveling with us to Switzerland. I've created a festival in Switzerland, and we are raising money to get them on the plane to Switzerland. So it's always the transport aspect that's so expensive for us. So if there are people that want wanting to help, please, but come and see the show in Durban at the Milkwood Theatre. It's such a beautiful new little theatre. It's a wonderful space. It's so great to be able to take the company to Durban, because I believe also our shows need to be in as many places as possible. We have to service the country. We call ourselves the nation's ballet, and we have to ensure we perform for the nation.
How do they also contact you should they want to get involved, and perhaps also heed that call to action?
So the tickets you can get through web tickets. Reach us through mzansiballet@gmail.com. I think that's the easiest way, and it's Mzansi with a Z first and an S second, and ballet@gmail.com, and that really is the best way to contact us and to get all the information that you might require.
All right, Dirk, thank you for your time. Good luck with everything, and thank you for giving back, being part of laying a solid foundation for our next generation. Wishing you all the best of luck as you continue. Dirk Badenhorst this morning, Director of Mzansi Ballet, CEO of South African International Ballet Competition, chatting to us about the latest show, Abba Show, a Cinderella Story. Of course, it is playing at the Durban's new Milkwood Theatre between the 16th and the 18th of May.